Okay, I think I have some internet connection troubles. So let's continue. Um, um, okay, so this is how we organize our events folder. We just create events and then we put all the information there. Because then if you want to, let's say, um, outline the like what's where, who's doing what, or like this text description or the materials, then you just put all here. You have a lot of you can just check them out. There are some things, for example, the Iceland trip. There is something here, of course we didn't manage to make it, but you can work there. Ability week for pop quiz questions, we started that. As I mentioned, for the changing the game, we have here the game materials. We already had the Google form and all that, but we didn't manage to do it. Then we also have a separate folder for PR materials. So when we had here PR materials, then I would put up all the okay, maybe not this one. Oh no, project. Um, here we have the poster template here. So I put it here so everyone can see and give some feedback. Here you have I already put a link for this, but you have a social media strategy. So here are all different types of documents that I took from other organizations. You can just read on it. It's quite useful. Um, then, as I already mentioned in the previous video, it's quite important that you do the evaluations. So we have also a separate folder for the evaluation, like a template, who what. So there are some evaluations that we did. So you can read them and you can see what went good and what went wrong, and you can improve yourself already. So you don't need to make the same mistakes as we did. The template. I also mentioned about the Google Forms. Um, so this is kind of like a Google form that you will send out. What you can also do is to print out the evaluation forms and give them directly after the event, because then you are sure that more people would fill it in. But yeah, trees. If not, then you can also send them an email, but you would definitely get a very low response. Maybe like people would send you the response. But it's like the template of like you get the studies, so then you kind of know people from what studies are coming. Are these people from other faculties? Like whether this event also is interesting for other students, and how would you rate the organization? What did they like? What would you suggest? And in general, what we also had, we had also a policy plan meetings. These were, of course, you would have it in the beginning of the year, maybe somewhere in the middle of the year, and maybe also in the end. Basically, policy is just to keep track of the um what is happening in general. Because during the meetings, sometimes meetings are very short. You go quickly through the current things, and then what can happen is that because you do so many things, you don't really zoom out, or you really don't see like how it really looks from the outside, or whether you are going in a good direction. And it's good to just have a plenary meeting about whether you are achieving your goals, or what are your goals. Um, it's usually the whole day where we just like spend time together. It's really actually a lot of fun, and you just talk about it, about also just the things that what you want to learn as well, what you expect from others. um, it's obvious things, but because it's so obvious, you just tend to forget about this kind of things. um, Policy reviews, do them properly as well. um, Tying for that, we also had we also have like a team dynamic session that was I think you can contact some organizations where they conduct a team dynamic session in which you learn what's your personality team, or like uh, who do you work well with whom you wouldn't as much. And We had it. It was not too late, but it was also not in a very beginning. It was, I think, somewhere in March or something, and it was kind of useful because this is a point where we kind of lose the track of what we are doing. We had like too many events, and it was a bit like unstructured, and then it kind of helped us out to have someone from the outside to kind of see um, how you work, and it's very useful. So I think you should definitely do it. Um, what else? I think in general, like all of the structural things, like for example evaluations, it's quite mundane thing to do, but it's quite useful because you can learn a lot. And yeah, I think that's it. I think the main point I wanted to do is that I was personally interested in organizing events, and it was very difficult to contact companies because mostly you either don't get the response at all, or if you do, then sometimes it's just lost somewhere on the way. So having a contact is very important, and once you have it, maintain it. And that's why I think there has to be structure in there. And for example, Trello would work well if you just update it regularly, um, and just use it. Of course, you can use also Excel and then just share it later on and stuff. That also works. There's a document from like 2015 with different contacts, but I think I contacted like maybe half of these contacts and they are like all outdated. But yeah, so this is like my personal trip and tip. um, I think this is also my last video. So yeah, I hope you. This video is supposed to be on Saturdays. I hope you enjoyed yesterday and you enjoyed the weekend. You will have a lot of fun in the next year. It's really a lot of fun, and I really learned a lot. So just yeah, be open and to all different types of events. And yeah, well, I hope I will see you next year. Okay, bye.